Hello everybody, I am in the classroom. It's midterm week, so I'm going to be a little bit quieter so I don't disrupt anybody. But you can see, here's your empty classroom. It misses you. Okay, Mrs. Long made you a great video the other day, showed you how to do the front page of this midterm review packet. So I am going to go through the second page. I've got my calculator, I've got some scrap paper, I got my packet, and I'm ready to go. So question number 8, the value of y in the equation, here it is, and here are my options. I could plug each of these in for y and see which one makes it true, but I'm going to go through my actual solving. So I'm going to use my scrap paper here, 0.06y plus 200 equals 0.03y plus 350. I'm going to draw my train tracks. I'm going to subtract this so I can get my variables together. It's going to give me 0.03 equals 350. If I moved my variables to the left, I need to move my constants to the right, so I'm going to take away the 200, and that's gone. 0.03y equals, that's going to leave me with 150. Divide by my coefficient, that's my multiplicative inverse, so that those cancel. Time for my calculator, and let's do 50 divided by 0.03 gives me 5,000. Which, if I come to here, is option number 3. Number 9 should be similar. What is the value of x in the equation? So I'm going to come back to my scrap paper. I'm going to rewrite the equation for number 9. 13x minus 2 parentheses x plus 4 equals 8x plus 1. Okay, if I'm solving this, I have parentheses. I know I'm always going to distribute first. 13x minus 2x minus 8 equals 8x plus 1. I'm going to combine like terms. Oops, 13 minus 2. Nope. 11x minus 8 equals 8x plus 1. Should have my train tracks here. I've got to get my variable together, so I minus the 8x. Gives me 3x minus 8. Those are gone. Equals 1. Since I moved my variables to this side, I've got to move my constants to this side. So add 8. That tells me that 3x has to equal 9. I'm going to use my multiplicative inverse to get rid of my 3, to know that x has to equal 1/3 of 9 is 3. So the answer to question number 9 should be, oops, that's the wrong question, that's why that doesn't make sense. The answer to question 9 should be 3. Alright, 2 questions down. On to question number 10. What is the solution of this system of equations? Well, this means I have 2, this one and this one. I'm definitely going to need scrap paper for this. I'm going to use the bottom of my page down here. And I'm going to rewrite it. So for question number 10, it is 2x minus 5y equals 11, negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 9. This one should be nice because my x's and y's and constants are all lined up. I also have additive inverses right here, so I just get to go ahead and add my 2 equations together because 2 plus negative 2 will cancel. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2y. 11 plus negative 9 is 2. Now I need to get rid of the coefficient, so I divide, and I get that y equals 1. But my solution to a system is going to be an ordered pair, x comma y, so I still need to find x. So I'm going to plug this negative 1 back in. I'm going to put it in the top equation. 2x minus 5, plug in my negative 1, has to give me 11. This is 2x, 2 negatives make a positive. Draw my train tracks. equals 3. That's my x coordinate, so here is my, and I'm going to label it. So I could have done something wrong here. So let's just double check. I'm going to go back to the first equation, 2x, but I'm saying x is 3 minus 5 times negative 1 equals 11. Let's make sure this works out. 6 plus 5 equals 11, and 11 equals 11. We are good. So here is our solution to question 10. Should be 3, negative 1. Question 11, which representations are functions? So here my x's cannot repeat. I know automatically from looking at this one that this fails the vertical line test because it hits more than once. So 3 is out. If I look at my answer choices, that means that answer choice has to be out. I know the equation y equals 2x plus 1 is a linear equation. That's going to be a nice straight line. That is a function, so I know that 4 has to be in my answer. So 1 is out. And now I just need to check and see if this set of ordered pairs is also a function. So I know my x's can't repeat, so if I check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, that's good. None of the x's repeat, which means the answer has to be number 2. Question 12, which system of equations does not, this is going to be the key word, have the same solution as the system below? This was on your most recent quiz. It was in the other review packet. We basically need to just check and make sure that if we multiply any of these equations, did they do it correctly? Are any of these right? So I don't know if there's a shortcut way to getting this answer, but if I look at this first one, it looks like this 10 became a negative 30. So they must have multiplied the first equation by negative 3. So if I just check that, if I multiply the whole top equation by negative 3, that would give me negative 12x, which works. That would give me negative 9y, and that would give me negative 30. So the first equation is good. If we're lucky, maybe the second one will be good. I see that this was a negative 16, this is a positive 32. So they must have multiplied this bottom equation by negative 2. And let's see if that works out for the bottom one. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Negative 2 and negative 5 is positive 10. And negative 2 and negative 16 is positive 32. So these work out. They multiplied correctly, but thought that was going to be my answer, but I forgot. I'm looking for the one that does not have the same solution. This one would have the same solution, so that one can't be it. On to the next one. I see that my 10 became a 50, so they must have multiplied the first equation by 5. 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 10 is 50, so that one's good. Negative 16 became a negative 48. That is 16 times 3, so they must have multiplied this bottom equation by positive 3. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 3 times negative 16, negative 48. So they did a good job here, which means it's not the answer we're looking for. Same process. I'm going to cross out my 5 and my 3. Let's see, 10 to 60. They would have multiplied by 6. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 10 is 60. That's good. Negative 16 to negative 64. I'm going to have to use my calculator on that one to see what they multiplied by. 64 divided by 16, 4. And the sign didn't change, so they would have multiplied by 4 on this one. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. 4 times negative 16 is negative 64. Oh my gosh, all this work and we're not at the right answer yet, but as long as we haven't messed anything up, this should be our answer. So 10 to 100 means they multiplied by 10. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 10 is 100. Uh-oh, that one worked. So let's check the bottom one. Negative 16 to negative 96. I'm going to have to negative 96 divided by negative 16. That's multiplying by 6, okay? So if this was a 6, 6 and negative 6 would be negative 36. They forgot their negative sign, which means this one would not give them the same solution. We found it. and it was in the very last equation. Question 13, let's hope this one is a little bit less work. Which statement is equivalent to the inequality? So we think that means equivalent. Which one is the same, but it's in a different format? So I think this is really just asking me to solve. And if I look at my answer choices quickly, number 1 has an equal sign, so I'm going to eliminate that one. It's probably a distractor. And I'm just going to rewrite this over here for x plus 24 is greater than or equal to 8x minus 16. Draw my train tracks. I see that all of my x's are on the left in my answer, so I'm going to bring my x's also to the left. 4 minus 8 is negative 4x. Greater than or equal to negative 16, which means I need to move my constants to the right. Negative 4x is greater than or equal to negative 16 minus 24. Gave me negative 40. Divide by negative 4 would give me x. Negative 40 divided by negative 4 will give me the positive 10. And I have to remember to flip my inequality because I just divided by a negative number here, which means it's not number 2, it's not number 4, but the answer is number 3. And number 14, we've actually done this question a whole bunch of times, so you might even have it memorized by now. They gave you an equation to model the distance that an object has traveled. So here's our equation. A is acceleration due to gravity, right? We have an object that's falling. T is the amount of time the object has fallen. What is T in terms of A and D? So whenever it says what is T, it gives you a variable in terms of, think T equals. And that's why all of our options say T equals. So we need to take this equation and we need to rearrange it and get T by itself, which is why we need to use all of our inverse operations. So if I want to get rid of this 1/2, I need to use the multiplicative inverse of 1/2, which means I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1. Multiply this side by 2 over 1. So that gives me 2d equals at squared. Still trying to get t alone. I can't go to my exponents yet. Oh, hang on. There we go. But I can get rid of this a out front, and it's being multiplied, so I'm going to divide it away. 2d divided by a is equal to t squared. I know I need to get rid of this squared, so I'm going to take the square root because that's my inverse operation, which means that t is equal to the square root of 2d divided by a. 1 or 2 because they have square roots, but I need the 2 to be in the numerator, so it's option 2. Alright, there is the second page of your midterm review packet. Don't forget about your Delta Math problem set that's due tomorrow at 7:20 in the morning, and hopefully some more of these pages and some helpful videos will be coming to you later today and tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Be here no later than 11:45, and don't forget your calculator.